There are many organizations that do stand out, but one organization that none of us know about in the Hackerbot organization is Hell's Bounty. Hello guys, what's up guys? It's me, Zals. Today I'm going to decide to make a video explaining the whole group. I don't know why I'm wearing my headphones because I'm not gaming right now. So yes guys, it's time we go into Hell's Bounty, which I want to say marks the end of the Hackerbot organization, if you guys don't know. Hell's Bounty is known as the Young Guns, but they also try to mimic members of the HB by disguising themselves as the true members. And last but not least, without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm going to try not to ramble as much and just go straight into the topic, so hope you guys enjoy. We open up to Alex Bainsworth, who is 34 years old, leader of Hell's Bounty. Opening speech: Hackerbots, say hello to Hell's Bounty. Have mercy on your souls. Alex opened up the border towards the Firewall clan to unleash havoc and chaos, putting an end to the Hackerbots' legacy as they become far more powerful and superior. Gun control. The list of members within this organization is kept anonymous. The only person left to be revealed is its leader. Zalus meets the leader for the first time, coming to the realization of his betrayal of everyone. Zalus was then turned in because of him being exposed for his wrongdoings. He was then forced to turn himself in. Since he resisted, he was turned towards the Firewall clan. This, in turn, created rage and chaos. The weapons that he has are an M11 pistol, AK-47, M12 Beretta, and spiked club. Alex Bainsworth is a gun nut, and also carries around a spiked club with sharp nails sticking out, which can cause impenetrable death. Alex Bainsworth and Paul's relationship was hostile since Alex never cared enough for his well-being. However, Zalus was also punished for slandering the name of Hell's Bounty and accused of unspeakable things. Zalus was at one point part of this organization, but left for his own reasons. He was humiliated and speechless. Hell's Bounty's leader is far more powerful in terms of knowledge and strength compared to all the members of the Firewall clan and the Hackerbot organization. All thanks to him, every organization is revived and can no longer be gone forever. Alex has been through boot camp his entire life, which explains why he's a history buff and a weapons expert. Alex Bainsworth, aka codenamed Deadshot, was once part of EWC and served as a detective. Him and his brother Paul hated each other due to different morals. Paul saw Alex as a threat towards other subjects within the Hackerbots. Alex's abilities include time manipulation, neurobomnesis, and supernova powers. He is also a huge gun nut when it comes to firearms and a history buff. Alex was sent to boot camp at an early age, which took a toll on his mental health. His personality is seen as high and mighty, hypocritical, logical, and practical, and very impulsive. Alex used his own brother for personal gain, to use him as an advantage alongside the Firewall clan. Little did Paul know he was being used as a pawn because of Alex. Hell's Bounty takes pride in fame, guns, control, deception. They're only focused on getting what they want, similar to hypertension organizations. They call themselves by convincing people they are the saviors and will help you with anything you need through propaganda. Yet, so many people are brainwashed to believe it. This is not a hypertension organization, but rather an organization that is kept in secrecy. Hell's Bounty has had a history of spreading countless rumors and conspiracy theories by mass media to convince other non-HB believers that there is no such thing as the Hackerbots. The Firewall clan has connections with the Yoshi clan, as well as one of the members was close with one of the members of the Firewall clan, sharing knowledge on how one enrolls within the clan. All Hackerbot organizations have already fallen apart, leaving the Hackerbots as the last organization standing. The only question remains, is this the end of the Hackerbots? As Hell's Bounty and Hackerbots come neck to neck with Crewmine dead, and a new apprentice by their side. Will H2O be able to overthrow this organization once and for all? Other conspiracy theories about the HB involve the Hackerbots secretly work for the FBI, or King Yoshi becomes the leader of the Hackerbots, the Hackerbots or a cult organization, or Gamer D steps down as leader and joins Hell's Bounty. All of these headlines are fake, created by Hell's Bounty, intended to brainwash people, yet nobody knows if it's true. No one in the Hackerbots knows either. Hell's Bounty must make sure they maintain a low profile and not reveal themselves as the true conspiracists. Hell's Bounty is far more powerful than any other organization that exists within the Hackerbot universe, multiverse. And yes, I do want to point something out. My grammar's really bad in that, so I'm just too lazy to go fix it myself because I just don't really have the time. So yes, I do apologize, guys. I will fix it when I get a chance. I just haven't really been working on anything HB related. And yes, that's pretty much it. We now get onto the list of members that are within the Hell's Bounty organization. Here we have Pet Perso, who is the founder of the organization, Alex Bainsworth, who is the leader, Amanda Silverheart, and Simon Newville. Hell's Bounty is an organizational cult gang that pretends to imitate members of the Hackerbot organization, intended through disguise, psychological, and emotional manipulation for personal gain. In total, there are 4 members within the organization. As mentioned before, their morals revolve around firearms, weaponry, and most importantly, militaristic aspects in order to take full control of Hackerbot territory, making themselves superior. These practices of Hell's Bounty are unacceptable, as they're known for being high and mighty in order to get what they want. And you're going to probably ask me, Thomas, why are you talking about firearms on YouTube? And I'm just going to say this, I'm not glorifying firearms. I don't support that. I don't even know how guns work. So please don't think that I just introduced stuff like that within this chapter because I just thought it would look cool. And yes, that's basically what they're all about. They're just the young guns. What do you expect? So we all need to grow up, at least. We need to grow up because we're living in a time where we can't get sensitive over stuff like that. This is one of my favorite characters that I created. Originally, this character was part of the organization, the Hackerbot organization, and I'm going to tell you, his name is Pet Perso, and the idea I have for Pet Perso, I don't know, that name just came to my mind, and I'm like, you know what? I got this. Pet Perso was originally the supervisor, the Hackerbot executive supervisor of the HB, but the thing is, he wasn't really talked about that much. And I just didn't really know what to do with him, so I just thought it would be a really good idea to introduce him later within Hackerbot timeline. So here we go, guys. This is probably one of my favorite characters that I created. Pet Perso, codenamed Deathwish, aged 46. Pet Perso is a registered hitman who was once the Hackerbot executive supervisor of the Hackerbot organization for only a day. Perso wasn't the greatest supervisor within the Hackerbots because of his pride, arrogance, and narcissistic personality getting the best of him. Perso and Gamer D used to be very close and best friends, since Perso looked up to Gamer D as his mentor to learn all the methods and practices of what the HB has to offer. Gamer D tried telling Perso that forcing people to become part of the HB is wrong and toxic. He was also trying to create a better life for him. Perso didn't always agree with everything related to the HB. Since people showed no interest in joining the Hackerbots, this in turn angered Perso, as this was a sign that Perso will never be anything, and as a result, he says it's not fair that Gamer D earns the right as leader, as he ends up turning against the HB through betrayal and manipulation. Perso then discovered the Hell's Bounty organization, making him the founder, which will give him cursed powers and gaining full possession of Hackerbot territory, which is dangerous. Since he was never offered anything, he never once had a leader in his life until he met Alex Bainsworth and saw him as the perfect role for the group. Alex then became the leader of Hell's Bounty thanks to Perso. Perso also created the Hell's Bounty organization in hopes of retaliation for his revenge against the Hackerbots. And I'm pretty sure I said that twice already. But yes, I mean, that's pretty much it for that part. Overall, he's just one of my favorite characters I actually created. A good description I want to say of him is that he has an eye patch and he is a hitman overall. So yeah, just think of him as a mafia boss. Amanda Silverheart is a mercenary who trained alongside the Firewall clan, although due to her training, she often received bad records because of her performance. Amanda was madly in love with Alex Bainsworth at the time of her training. She would establish HB laws with HB domain and headquarters, which the Hackerbots did not approve of. Amanda had always remained loyal towards the Hackerbot, Hyperbron organizations, but her actions would go too far. Her personality is seen as unpredictable, deceptive, manipulative, and tough. People in Civdo, VTEX, and Skull organization, though she was trustworthy with classified information, but they were wrong. She tells people not to speak on behalf of these organizations when Cyberzen discovered the truth of what she was hiding, as she constantly backstabbed the Hackerbots and spread countless rumors in hopes to overthrow them, including all the organizations of Hybrid Brawn. Fans speculated that she was the one who opened the border of the Firewall clan because of the fact that she was once part of the clan and knew the ins and outs on how it operates, when it was Pet Perso that opened the border. No one in the Hackerbots' Hybrid Brawn organizations found this out. As a result, she was then accepted into Hell's Bounty, which marked the end of the Hackerbots. Amanda and Alex decide to end their relationship because it would cause issues with Hell's Bounty, and decide just to remain friends. And again, no one in the Hackerbot organization knew who opened the border. We had no clue as to why the border was opened. So yes, I mean, I think it's a good way to start off the entire chapter. Simon Newville, codename Paragon, age 24. Simon Newville is a drug dealer, gangster, and a gambler. Simon is one of the smartest members of Hell's Bounty because of the fact he managed to obtain classified files of all HB organizations and rewrote all the codes that were included within them. However, Simon is seen as annoying, attention-seeking, and overly confident. Simon also has ODD, which explains why he has a habit of disrespecting authority figures and non-believers of HP organizations. Oppositional defiant disorder. He is also a psychopath, similar to the Joker. The ideas he comes up with is questionable. For example, having everyone wear masks to meet up with the Hackerbots on a pretend field trip to somewhere peaceful, when in reality, he uses them as bait in order to become an emotional manipulator for his own good. Hell's Bounty and the Hackerbots are clearly not the same, for reasons. Reasons being, Hell's Bounty also believes in secrecy and high secure agencies protecting their works, whereas the Hackerbots believe in changing lives, showing off their skills, and utilizing codes to program games to the public for their enjoyment. There isn't anything else to say about Hell's Bounty, rather than the fact that projects, protocols, and overall case files are classified, meaning someone like me as a middle-class CEO can't talk about, simply because I don't have the power nor authority to. The Hackerbots did everything in their power to avoid what we're doing to avoid Hell's Bounty in the first place, want no affiliation with its organization, and maintain a low profile to avoid any occurrences within their whereabouts. And a spoiler alert, Hell's Bounty managed to put an end to the Hackerbots and expose the truth of who they really are, even when they tried to make things right. They were smarter in many aspects, and they changed everything, which did not end well for GamerDev, CyberZen, or anyone else, including myself, whatsoever. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for that part. There's a reason why I haven't really talked about this group ever since the HP first started. And I'm going to get into that towards the end of the video. As sad as we like to say this is the end of the Hackerbot organization. We have remained strong all these years, kept watch over hypertension organizations, us members still remaining, moving on with their lives. The rest of the legacy lives on to HB GamerDev and Earth Gamma, since this marks the end of everything covered in this PowerPoint. So yes, guys, thank you guys for sticking around the HP organization all these years. I just can't thank you guys enough. I know this PowerPoint's been going on way too long, and yes, I can admit it. But overall, I'm going to say this. Hell's Bounty won, and we no longer have content for the Hackerbot organizations. So we're just forced to retire. That's pretty much it. Pepper So and the rest of the members pretty much spared us, so there's not really much to cover within the Hackerbots anymore because we've been working on this PowerPoint all together. Me, Josh, and Darian, all three of us, we've been working on this PowerPoint for years. Or actually, no, scratch that. It was actually me, Michael, and Darian that worked on this PowerPoint since 2019. So what does this mean for the Hackerbot organization? Well, nothing. Because back then, we just thought that all the organizations, the hypertension organizations, were all falling apart, and we already won. But little did we know, we had no idea Hell's Bounty even existed. There's a reason why we never talked about it, and Michael actually brought up the idea of the group, and I just took some time to think about it. He didn't want me to disclose anything about the group or talk about it or anything, and just to shut up about it, and I'm kind of glad that he did. And I just haven't been thinking about anything to say about this because, honestly, he didn't want me to talk about it. He was like, can you just stop talking about it? But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, but it sounds cool. It sounds badass. So yes, Michael Johnson, if you were watching this, and thank you for giving me the idea of Enigma Worlds Collide, because you'll be surprised if you saw the Earth Xenon PowerPoint of what I have written down. Because at this rate, yes, we are pretty much the elite. We are the HP elite. So there's not really much to cover in the Hackerbots anymore. Because when people think of Hackerbots, it's like Hell's Bounty. And that's just basically it. I mean, we've been at this PowerPoint, I want to say, no, not since 2017. So just to sum it all up, just to not get you guys confused, first it comes Earth Gamma, which is 2016 to 2017, which covers HB GamerDev's universe. All the characters, it talks about Hackerbits, the evolution of Hackerbits and how they evolved, basically characters within GamerDev's universe like Softlock, Sparky, and Ian, and all that stuff. I don't cover that. I'm just in charge of making the title slides, which, Darian, if you're watching this, check out what I did for your PowerPoint, because I made the title for you. I also did the same thing for my friend Josh. I want to give him a shout out too for giving me the idea of incorporating more lore. So we have Earth Hydra, Earth Gamma, and we have Earth Xenon, which pretty much is a continuation of what happens after the HB. The Hackerbots started in I want to say 2017. Well, that was the idea we had it. It was originally Darian's idea. And we started the PowerPoint. So what happened was this. At the time, we were all together, just a trio. We didn't even work on a PowerPoint. We actually got to work on the PowerPoint when Michael came and joined the group. And yes, I want to say this from here on out. We've been working on the PowerPoint since 2019 all the way to 2025. So it's been like, what, 6 years? There's not really much to cover at all. And the reason why we're not working on it is because we all just wanted to do our own thing and we all just moved on. And we're just tired of talking about the Hackerbots. It's just old. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the end, guys. That's pretty much the end of the Hackerbots. There's nothing else that's going to be covered. As far as when I'm going to release the PowerPoint, I don't know when. I'm going to point this out. I need to correct a lot of the stuff. Wait, I said correct a lot of the stuff. No, the stuff I have is written down is fine. It's just I need to fix my grammar in a lot of the slides. I mean, a lot, which I don't even know. I mean, I don't even feel like going back and editing it because it's like, I just can't. I don't even think I'm ready to release the Hackerbot archive because the thing is, I don't even think I'm going to. We're not even going to add anything else. That's basically it. I mean, the PowerPoint's just been going on for far too long. So yes, I think I ended the PowerPoint or the Hackerbots on a cliffhanger because the thing is, I'm killing off characters. Actually, wait, no, I shouldn't say that. Us members are still alive. It's just the organizations are already torn apart. But we had a long-standing victory for like 6 years now. Probably like 8 years at the most. But yeah, I mean, Hell's Bounty literally won. That's basically it. I do want to say again, yes, Michael Johnson, if you're watching this, you gave me the idea for Earth Z9 I came up with, but you gave me the idea for Enigma Worlds Collide EWC. And thank you for giving me some ideas. Because at the time we were working on this, I know you had a lot of good ideas when we were talking about this. And I want to get them down. You were literally like, write this all down, please. Write this all down. I'm like, you're talking too fast. You're talking too fast. So, yeah, there's that. The reason why there is typos is because we just talked about it, and then I tried to type really fast, and yeah, I have to correct a lot of it. But yeah, Mike, if you want to go back, you can go back and fix the edits if you want. As far as when Enigma Worlds Collide, when's that going to come out? I don't know. Darian is already working on the game as of right now. So it's only a matter of time when we're going to have that game released. What me and Mike are focused on doing, I don't know if we're still doing this or not, is just coming up with more ideas for EWC and how to expand it, pretty much. Because I'm not really actively working on Earth Xenon. I just haven't really been focused on that because I have other things going on. I'm still going to have ideas when they come to me. And when they do come to me, I'm going to cover them in the next video. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's just the end of the Hackerbots. Like, us still stand. It's just the organization has just been taken over. Does this mean I'm going to cover a whole history of Hell's Bounty? No. Because Mike was telling me, please don't talk about this group. But I have to just at least give you a rundown on what it is. He never even went into it that much. That's the thing. The reason why I never introduced it early on is because I never even thought of the idea. So yeah, Mike, I think this was a good idea you came up with, because then I just thought, you know what? I gotta save this to the end. Because it makes sense, right? It literally makes sense. Because they took over. That's it. And yes, you guys are probably wondering, what? You ended the Hackerbots just like that? Yes. Yes, we had to. We're not gonna work on this PowerPoint for years, guys. I'm sorry to tell you that. Because the thing is, like, if I work on this PowerPoint and force myself to do it, then the ideas are just going to get stale. Because when you start something, you have to know how to finish it. And I think introducing Hell's Bounty towards the end was the best way to end it. Maybe not to a lot of people. I know a lot of you guys are going to be pissed off because you're like, what? These characters got killed off? What? Not exactly. Because this gave me the idea of me not being allowed to talk about it, which is fine. Don't ever mention it. Don't think about it. Stop talking about this group. But look, eventually I have to get into it, and this is the time now. It's a surprise moment. Again, no one in the Hackerbots, no one in the organizations knows about this. But I will say, though, they're smarter than us. Some of their members are just very stupid, and they do a lot of stuff around us that we do not give them full permission to. I see why we don't talk about this. We don't really go into this group that much because just the name, Hell's Bounty. I'm not talking about the devil. So if you guys ever think that I'm talking about, oh, you're talking about hell and the devil. No, I'm not. But then again, you know what? I didn't come up with the name Hell's Bounty. You know what, Mike? I think it's a badass name. You don't want me to talk about it, but you know what? I mean, I just think what I have written down for that sums it all up perfectly. Because if I just go into the history of it, it's gonna be overly complicated, like I did with the Hackerbots. That's all you guys gotta know. You guys are gonna be like, oh, can you explain more of it? I'm like, no. Can you explain the history of how it started? No. Can you explain what the members did and yada 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 and like, oh, what were these files about? No, 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 no. That's it. That's all you guys gotta know. Anything you guys are thirsty for information with this organization, with this group, I'm not covering. But yeah, enough me rambling about this. I think this video's getting long enough anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm not going to be making any more Hackerbot related material content because pretty much this is all of our PowerPoints. This is all of us working on it together, and I shouldn't even be working on it myself. But someone has to end it. None of us ended it except for me. It all ends with me. So I mean, what does this mean next? All I gotta say is that Earth Xenon is just a continuation of everything. Which I want to say like starts in 2022, 2025, or sometime like 2020 to 2025, around the time like where COVID happened. Also, stay tuned with an Earth Xenon. There's gonna be a specific episode or chapter where it's called The Power of Two, which just explains on how me and Mike share universes that are interconnected within Enigma Worlds Collide. It's gonna talk about like pretty much our adventures, so to speak. That's if he's willing to go on the idea. That's if I would ask him like, hey, I have an idea. It's called The Power of Two. Let's make this official. Let's see like if we can let's brainstorm some things that we came up with related to. And you guys are probably thinking, why are you only focusing on EWC? It's going to be more than just a game. It's going to be constant lore. It's going to have backstory. It's going to have storyline. It's going to have history. It's going to have conflict. It's going to have confrontation. It's going to have all of these things. It's a whole expanded universe, for crying out loud. Sound City is going to be discussed even more in depth. Sound City, if you guys don't know, that's the birthplace of Sour Note, and there's a reason why. Sour Note's a very interesting character. He's a very complex character, in fact. I'm looking forward to expanding just the information within this universe. Because at first, when we had the idea of EWC, I didn't really have any idea whatsoever of what I wanted to put in it. But I do want to say, I gotta correct some of the things I wrote down. Or not correct, but like I gotta fix the typos because there are a lot. And I do want to say, the runtime for the Earth Xenon is 2 hours. That's a full-length movie. That is literally equivalent to how long the Avengers movies are. If you guys have stuck around, well, I mean, the video's unlisted, but I might make it public. But if you guys stuck around for that video, because I'm only going to share it with people that are actually interested in hearing me talk for that long. Probably the longest video I ever made when it comes to me doing these kind of videos. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. And finally, just to end off this video, just want to say thank you guys for watching. The Mike the Duck campaign, we don't talk about that because I had the idea of Mike the Duck. See, Mike the Duck, all you gotta know is that he's just a companion sidekick that is just overpowered. And we don't need him. He's too broken. Like, we don't need him. He's too overpowered. I actually talked about the Mike the Duck campaign, believe it or not. That was a DLC in EWC. We're not adding it. It's gone. Whatever I have written down, I'm just now thinking to myself, I should have not added this in the first place. But it was so good information, though. That's the thing. I should have kept it. But you know what? Michael was like, delete this right now. So, yeah, there's that. That's the missing file. But we don't need it. That's the thing. There's no DLC stuff. None of that. But I will say this. There's a collectible that you can get of Mike the Duck. Or there's a mission that you can do, which you can have Mike the Duck as your sidekick. We're not going to have a whole separate story DLC for EWC. But there's going to be like a few mini missions of Mike the Duck that he wants you to do. Mike the Duck was originally Mike Companion, but here's the thing. In EWC, you'll be surprised. He's a humanoid duck. He's a human with the duck head. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I don't know what I'm going to be covering up next, or just whenever I have an idea. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.